Joe Vargas?
No, I'm good.
Star of the show. I'm Gucci. Sponsored by Gatorade. There's no good fight science review.
Adam, can you put that over there?
Oh, man. I'm all plugged up, man. Oh, over here. Yeah.
All right, bye. Thank you.
You don't even do that shit no more.
No. What's up, guys?
Shit.
Joe Vargas here. Always Maggie Duarte. Should I say like Maggie Duarte?
Oh, that
was good.
I like that. Yeah, that
was
was good.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I have a quote at the end.
Okay.
I'm kind of excited. So
I put my phone away, so I don't have any quotes.
Oh man.
Anyways, maybe we can cut up that one about the mosquito and post those. Anyways, it's fight week.
It sure is.
Damn, I'm all marrano. The shirt didn't even fit me.
Yes, it does.
All snug and shit. Brian Figueroa
Schmedium.
is fighting this weekend on Saturday in Rosarito. Shout out to Brian Figueroa and Victor Flores and the whole team. We're excited. Fight coming pending for Kyle.
Kabowski.
We'll see if they sign the contract, Kyle.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
I don't even want to go into that.
We'll see what happens with Jose. Yeah.
Actually, that's perfect. That's a perfect segue for the first thing that is on the list. But
One more.
Yeah.
The little weenie is back. Havini weenie. I know. I'm excited. I know you're not, but I am.
Yeah, I'm not excited.
Okay.
I'm not excited yet.
Little Modessa is fighting at the Blue and Gold this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
Let's go.
What else? Cece to the gym.
Yeah.
Waiting for see what comes up. And we're just
He's
grinding.
ready.
Damian is back after almost dying 3 times from little fevers. And, La gripa, me pegó la gripa, profe. What else? Okay, let's go into this segment now.
Yeah.
Got a lot to talk about today.
I will say Brian Figueroa, also sponsored by... He's actually sponsored by this brand.
Sin Reglas brand.
It's actually pretty rad, so you guys check it out. So, yeah, we speak of the fight that Jose, right, he was supposed to have, and this kind of brought me into that, and there's a podcast that I was watching, and we kind of touched on this, and it's the mentality of dealing with rescheduled or fall-in fights for a fighter, especially after being in the middle of a grueling camp, a big fight. The wear and tear that it does on a fighter's mental when they are so super laser focused in a camp and maybe 2 weeks shy of the fight get
a call.
Exactly.
That call, and you see that phone number, like
you're like, fuck. Yeah.
They want to move the weight up. They want to reschedule it. They want to give us less money.
Somebody got injured.
Need a replacement.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a dreading call that I get. It just happened.
Yeah.
It just happened with Jose Cholet. We had an opponent, and supposedly his opponent got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Victor Flores calls us, and they say maybe October. And we're like, okay. And now we're waiting for the date in October.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking to Jose. Jose's in good spirit. That's to answer your question. Like, hey, just stay ready because they might call us. They might not. They might do this on purpose so they can ease up on the training.
Right.
We don't know why they did it.
Right.
But now the same team doesn't want to fight Jose anymore. Now they want to fight Kyle. I mean, hopefully they sign the contract and it happens, but that's not an easy task. I don't know what it is. Styles for them, probably it makes more sense. Kyle, they probably be like, oh, shit,
Yeah.
Did a little homework on Jose. But Kyle's one gangster-ass white boy, man, who could fight. So now I got to, like, as a coach, you got to be like a counselor, like a father, like a mentor, like, sorry, Jose, and like, I try not to build a cast around my heart.
Yeah.
A callus, because it happens so much.
Right.
Sometimes I tell the guys, hey, the fight fell, man. Sorry.
Yeah.
But I can't do that to my boys. I got to talk to them and let them know that just need one chance.
Have you ever been in this predicament before?
Oh, a lot.
But this one is speaking like...
No, not when they want to fight another one of my guys.
Yeah.
No, first time.
So what was that like for you, like mentally? Because I know the way your mind works is like you immediately try to like fucking, move forward.
Well, I look at it like a gang fight. Like, oh, you don't want to fight my homeboy? You want to fight this homeboy? You know, like, all right, cool, let's go.
We all know how to fight, right?
We all get down and get down, and that kid can fight. That kid can fight. That kid's 7-0.
Mm-hmm.
I think he has a draw, 2 draws or something like that. So I'm like, all right, I'm not throwing his name out there.
Yeah.
But when Kyle fights, if they do sign the contract, you'll know. If we don't know, I'll say his name pretty soon.
Yeah.
But out of respect for the whole team, but we can fight over here,
Yeah.
Give us a chance. We're not on good standings with all these promoters and matchmakers because we don't have money. Second, we don't kiss no one's ass. So we're in the fight game, So, but we're not over here super submissive or super like, oh yeah, whatever you say, like we have a little bit of bite back, and some of those guys don't like it. So I'd rather make it that way than sell my soul and
exactly
be a submissive coach and submissive trainer.
Exactly. And you kind of, to be successful, in my opinion, you have to be that way because you kind of gain a reputation of being stepped over, and that shit ain't cool, But how interesting, right? That these guys, they won't, same camp, different fighter. I mean, I don't even know if they know that that's the same camp.
No, they know.
They know.
The coach knows me. They follow us.
That's so interesting, man.
They follow us on. Maybe they just think that they have a better chance for Kyle. So I don't blame them.
I don't blame him either. But Jose was like, you should have seen his face. He was like,
well, can you see his face with all the hair he has in his face? Yeah, like, he already got the haircut.
Yeah, but it's still long. Them 3 today jumping rope with their fucking hair in their eyes. I don't
look like a Shih Tzu dog.
Golly, yeah, exactly.
But it's happening. You just gotta, like a coach, you gotta communicate with your fighters and let them know, hey man, it's gonna happen. A fight's never guaranteed till you get in the ring, and not even then. Exactly. It's only guaranteed when the bell rings. We've seen fighters get out of the ring.
Yeah, I have not seen that yet.
Oh, I'll show you later on.
I do remember, though, when we were in Tijuana, and the guy was about to do his ring walk and found out in that moment that he wasn't going to fight. I remember that.
Yeah.
And I'm conocido of yours, too.
Who it was, yeah.
I don't know. I think they're
it's
from
happened
LA.
a lot. Yeah, it's happened a lot.
That's fucked up, man. But I think as a coach, do you think you ever get used to that?
No.
Right? Like getting that call like, hey, your fight fell through?
No.
That shit's a fucked up feeling, man.
But in the back of our mind, it's there, but we don't get used to it.
Yeah.
I get mad. I get frustrated and mad because I don't sacrifice with them individually. I sacrifice with all my fighters when it comes to training, time-wise, physically, training them, pain. So I do, and then energy and time.
Right.
Things I can never replace.
Right.
So when their fight falls, it hurts. It doesn't hurt me as much as it hurts them, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But it does hurt me, trust me.
Yeah, because it's a team effort,
Yeah, it's a team thing. So it's a low blow. I get so pissed, and then I had to be diplomatic and not scream at the matchmakers and the promoters and all that. Because even as it is, I'm known for not being a fucking kiss ass. So if I start screaming, I'm hard to work with. I'm a dick. Can't talk to me. I'm rude. But at the same time, they want to steal our money and steal our fighters' record and do what they got to do to us. So I got to stand up for my guys.
It's interesting, man, that like a lot of people, especially in business, in this business, right? People pretty much only see their side of things.
Yeah, they own the deck of cards.
Right. And I think a lot of the times they don't even realize what it's like to be in other shoes.
They do. They just forgot.
Perhaps.
They forget. Once you have power is it's a very like... it could cut you back, like it's like a double sword. Like you don't, how do I explain? Like once you have power, if you don't have your feet on the ground, you forget of everything you struggled with.
Right. No, that makes sense. It makes sense. You don't know what that life is like anymore. You're disassociated, but we're all fucking human at the end of the day. And for those who don't understand too, when you're in camp and you're in the middle, we're literally like a couple weeks away from the fight. It's like, but then they're like, oh, stay active because the fight might be a month later. It's strategy in camp too, when it comes to peaking at the right moment. And so, yeah, but it is what it is. Just gotta move forward now with Kyle. So it's gonna be,
and with Jose, we'll see when Victor Flores gets him, and then we'll move forward.
Exactly, man. But moving along, I was watching. I think it was the same from the same podcast. I was like, oh, these are all pretty nice little subjects, and they were touching on.
What was the podcast? Give them some love, give them some respect.
It's a big ass podcast.
Huge.
Those of y'all who know, Club Shay Shay. I was watching Club Shay Shay.
Hardly anybody.
Yeah. With Daniel Cormier. I never thought that I would actually sit down and watch a whole interview with that dude because I wasn't really a big fan of his MMA. But as an analyst, and he's a coach as well, it's very interesting to kind of pick his brain a little bit because he was a fighter and now he's a coach and he's also an analyst. So they're touching on kids of great athletes. For example, kind of like Magic, fucking basketball player's last name is Johnson. Am I tripping?
Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan. All these guys who are great. I think they mostly touched on LeBron and how his kid, he's also in the league. And something that Cormier touched on is like, dude, even if the kid never reaches his like greater potential than his dad, the fact that he's even in the league and his dad's in the league too is actually pretty fucking impressive, you know? But I think critics are so quick to just critique these kids. They're not. I don't think most of them are. They're trying to make their own name. You know, they didn't ask for that. At the same time, it kind of comes with the territory. But I found it interesting that what do you think that is? Is it like the whole silk sheets thing? Like because the parent goes through a crazy struggle, and sometimes the parent isn't good.
The DNA, dog. It's not all the dad's DNA or the mom's DNA. Whoever was the superior one.
Yeah.
They got cut in half.
Sometimes the parent isn't that great, but the kid is great.
No, what are you doing that for? I told you I had like a couple names.
Oh, no, I didn't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's a numbers game. It's so hard to be a Jordan, whoever, you know, and then have a son of equal stature, you know, and that was hard enough to get one guy like that. That was Michael Jordan would never have a son that would be as good as him, or it's nearly impossible, right? How many people are in the NBA and how many guys are Michael Jordan? You know what I mean? That's just a name at you. But I told you I have two names where I think the kids outdid the parents.
I want to hear it.
One is Ken Griffey Jr., the baseball player.
Ooh.
His dad was a great player in the MLB for years. They actually played together.
Right.
And I just think Ken Griffey Jr. was a little better.
Man.
But I'll let people who watch baseball in the early 80s.
Folks,
I watched it, but I was little.
Yeah, I didn't.
I remember Ken Griffey Jr., not senior. I think that's one. Another kid that outdid his dad is Peyton Manning.
Ooh, that whole family is stacked.
Actually has two sons. And they have a grandson right now.
That's like making it big, right?
Yeah.
That's true. I think Archie or some shit.
I think
that was a dad.
That's a dad's name. And I forget that little Levan that didn't want to play for the Chargers.
Fucking Eli, man. I remember that shit.
Yeah, that fool. At least the Chargers beat the Mannings all the time.
That's they don't beat anybody. At least if they beat
the Mannings, But those are two guys who and I want to say Floyd Mayweather.
I was about to bring up,
but his dad wasn't great,
right?
You know, his dad was super good, but he wasn't great.
Who do you think?
His uncle was Roger.
His uncle,
Roger was.
Who? Because there's a lot of father sons in boxing. I'm trying to think off the top of my head two that actually were world champions. I can't remember. Chavez Jr. was never a champion, right?
Yeah, he was.
He was, and his dad was a world champion.
Yeah,
which I think is pretty impressive, man. It's pretty. I think was Pitbull's dad a champion, and his grandfather also boxed.
No.
But he did become champion. So
Pitbull did?
Yeah, 140.
Did he?
Yeah. When he beat Rolly.
Oh, that's right.
Just for that one.
That's right.
And then he defended against Ion. That was game over.
Yeah, Chavez Jr., would he have been a champion without his dad? That's a different subject.
No, but that's a great question, though.
No, he wouldn't have. He wouldn't have been taken care of. Sanford wouldn't have pampered him so much and
they built him
easy fights, you know. And man, one time somebody in a big camp told me we can basically make anybody champion if we just take the right time.
I kind of agree with that.
If we take the right time and the right approach, we can make anybody champion.
Yeah.
I was like, damn.
As long as that motherfucker wants it. Yeah. Because I think, I don't know if Chavez Jr. ever actually really 100% wanted it or if he was always kind of like, well, I'm in it now. I may as well try and be as good as my dad or something, you know?
And then, who else? I can't think of anybody else. Joe Frazier's son didn't do well against Mike Tyson. He was...
there's a lot of father sons out there. I just can't think off the top of my head.
The guys that just fought. Oh my God, I went.
Oh, yeah,
Nigel Ben
Eubank,
and
yeah.
Eubank Jr. Will they live up to their dads? No, but I think
So,
Nigel Ben Jr. has a chance of surpassing his dad if he beats a couple big names.
yep. At 147?
Yeah, Nigel Ben Jr. Nigel Ben.
They were both
Are
world
they called
champions.
Junior?
Yeah. Well,
Connor Ben.
Yeah,
Connor
the other
Ben,
one.
Connor Ben.
Yeah. But the dads were both champs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the sons, I don't think either of them have gotten world champ status. We'll see.
If you guys could think of any father and sons duo,
Yeah.
put it on the comments because I can't. Off the top of my head, I'm drawing blanks right now.
Me too. Major blanks. I don't even think, is there an active fighter right now that has a father that boxed? I can't even think of that.
That was elite.
That was elite? Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of fathers and sons that box, but that were good.
You know who I didn't know his dad played baseball, and that's because I don't follow baseball too much, was Fernando Tatis.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh,
that
that's
was good.
the Vargases. All three. I forgot about
the
that.
Vargases, man. Yeah, the Vargases.
I
Fernando, his son. All three. When I will say all three his sons, Fernando Jr. is having a tough fight with Walsh.
Yeah, that's
They're
a
both
huge
undefeated,
fight.
so that's some respect, man. But
yeah, 3 sons that are actively in professional boxers. That's pretty impressive in itself too.
That's crazy.
And he was a world champ.
Yeah.
One of them's gonna be world champ at least.
Yeah.
So
El General.
Yeah, the youngest one.
El General.
Yeah. The other one, like, honestly, it depends on who's in that division. I think he fights at, I don't know if it's 154 or
I know somebody's going to put some comments and be like, damn, I forgot this fool, Because Shane Mosley Jr.'s son tried, but he couldn't make it. I mean, he's still in the game, but I just feel like the time passed already.
I didn't realize that, I looked at his box rec. Brandon Adams, the guy who came by this past week, he beat him.
Yeah. Shout out to Brandon Adams. Brandon Adams came to the gym to spar with Trevor Zambrano, his coach, and they came to spar, and I was watching, I like Brandon Adams because I remember him when he turned pro. He was one of the only guys to sign with Bobby D here in San Diego out of LA from Watts. And he's a perfect a story to let you know that he has 4 losses on like 25 wins.
Yeah.
But he's beat some big names. He's lost to some big names. And he's going to fight on the undercard of Canelo's for a rematch. Some guy he locked out. You could pronounce his name and I can't.
Yes, Serhii Bohachuk, who had a controversial close fight with Virgil Ortiz.
And Adams knocked him out. And this is a rematch.
Which is crazy. He's only had 2 losses, this guy. And it's one to Virgil, which was super close, and also the knockout.
Let me tell you a quick story. That day, Maggie was communicating with Coach Trevor.
Yeah.
And Maggie says, do we have a 154-pounder to spar with Trevor's guy? And I was thinking it was a Middle Eastern kid.
I don't know his name, but he's brought him.
That Coach Trevor has. And I'm like, oh, yeah, we'll put Javier and Jose with him.
Yeah.
I looked out the window as they're pulling up, and I see Brandon Adams coming, and I'm like, son of a bitch. So I grab Jose and Kyle, and I tell them, hey, they're going to get in your ass today. They're going to make you doubt yourself. You are in there to learn today.
Yep.
The moment you think you're going to beat him in sparring and this and that, it's not going to happen. We're going to go 4 rounds each, and then it's over. And we're just going to soak up all the experience you can get from Brandon.
Yep.
I realized that they can't carry him for 4 rounds straight. So I break it up in 2s. 2. And Brandon showed him what it's like to be on the undercard of big fights. And to be fighting at the top level.
Just the experience,
just
man.
His presence in the ring.
His
exactly. Presence. Just the way he warms up. You know? And it takes a while. Because I remember Brandon when you first started seeing him now, compared to what I remember him, he's just blossomed so much. And we'll be cheering for you. I'm picking you to win.
Yeah.
I'm not giving my predictions yet, but I'm giving that one.
Yeah.
All Brandon Adams.
His pressure is impressive.
His punches. Yeah. Every time he shoots a punch, you think he's off balance. He comes with something else.
Yeah. It was awesome.
His energy outside the ring. Inside the ring, he's an asshole, but a cool asshole. He's like working with the guys. He wasn't let me rephrase that. He wasn't mean.
Yeah.
He just let them know who boss was.
Right.
But outside the ring, total gentleman.
Super cool. Good storyteller, man. We enjoyed listening to the story
about him
telling.
Sparring with Charlo and stuff, and then fighting him. It was cool, man. Thanks, Brandon.
Yep, all the experience he has. He had a lot of experience. Great camps. That he also, some of them were with CC. He was there with him. So Yeah, it was pretty rad.
Hopefully they'll be sparring this weekend. This week.
You know, I do want to mention real quick, though, something that I noticed that was impressive to me was exactly what you mentioned, is that it's strategy as a coach, you know, and that comes with experience too.
Yeah.
The guys were supposed to do 4 and 4 or something like that,
Yeah,
right?
4-4.
4 and 4. And you realize this is a lot of pressure, like that this dude was applying right in the ring, and you're like, I'm gonna switch it up. Let's do 2, 2, 2. And is that where does that come from? Is that just like experience? Because to me, I was like, damn, that's fucking.
Because I don't want my
that's a good
guy's
idea.
spirit broken.
Yeah,
My both guys fight at 140.
yeah,
Brandon fights at 154. We're not there to match him equally, power with
Right.
nothing. We're there to learn little ins and outs about boxing with him. We're giving him 2 bodies that throw at him. He's not taking a risk because he doesn't have to worry about getting knocked out by these guys.
right.
Shots are coming at him. So sometimes for him, it's good to spar. He sometimes, for the most time, from what he told us, Brandon spars higher.
Yeah,
So for him sparring lower, that was kind of good for him. You know, not all the time does it have to be hard. Coaches,
yeah,
not all the time the sparring have to be hard. You know, so I noticed his pressure. I go, I at the end of the day, I don't want to break my fighters mentally.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if they're gonna be drowning for the last 3rd or 4th round. Rather get him out,
yeah,
get him some confidence, go back in, observe Brandon, see the little
Yeah.
things that he does. And they both did better with the rounds.
Yeah.
Because if they would have stayed in there, they would have been drowning.
And is this something that you came up with, like off, like right
just
then and
happens.
there? Yeah,
It just
because
happens. I'm like Eminem when I'm spitting game, dog. When
Freestyle?
I'm rapping, yeah, when I'm freestyling, dog. I just go like,
because see the
where's
way
my hoodie at?
the way the way my mind works is like I would think, okay, if this happens, I'm gonna do this. If that happens, I'm gonna do that. But your mind is, to me, is so impressive because you think the more pressure that you have, the faster that you are on your toes.
I don't know why. That's how it is. Maybe because it's a fighting mentality.
Yeah,
You roll with the punches.
it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I noticed that when you said, I was like, God damn, that's a
Yeah.
good idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a great experience for the boys. It was pretty rad. Yeah, that dude got a lot of experience, so it was cool to see. I would look forward to that fight for
Oh
sure.
yeah.
All right, so moving on. I wrote a bunch of like random little things in here. I kind of mentioned it, but I guess we can put that on the back end if we have more time because some of them are kind of dumb. But let's see. Fight camp, fighters in camp. I don't even remember why I thought about this, but everybody, like for example, right now Canelo is in Tahoe, right? And we were talking about this a little earlier when you were training Everett, and he was here in San Diego for the longest, and now he's in Tahoe where it's kind of secluded. You know what I'm saying? But some fighters are comfortable having their camps at home when they're with their families and their kids and all that stuff, and some no. Like, for example, the first person that comes off the top of my head is Big Shot, how he came and his family stayed at home back in Missouri, and he came here and he was by himself in a room, and he said that was a great, choice for him, a great decision for him, because he was like, and look at the result that it had.
Yeah.
I think it takes a lot of self-awareness to know what works for you and what doesn't. But I don't know if you've had camps where you're like, is better to stay away, or let's just do camp here. I don't know. You've observed obviously a lot of camps in your time as a coach.
Andre Ward,
Yeah,
Canelo,
Mhm.
big names.
You were out there with Floyd.
I didn't go with Charlo, but
Yeah.
who else? Kovalev. We went with Loma to spar. We didn't do camp because they kicked us out. But each fighter's different. Like Loma trained at home, Andre Ward trained in the gym where Virgil Hunter.
Yeah,
And some guys didn't want nobody there, some wanted everybody there. It's like different. So it's your job as a coach to understand what your fighter responds to the best. At the end of the day, at the fight, everybody's gonna be there.
Yeah.
Some fighters don't want their families there. Some doesn't matter. Family's still gonna go.
Yeah.
So it's your job as a coach to find out what your fighter gives you the best result.
Has there ever been a time where you're like, fuck, we should have been a little bit more secluded, or pretty much that? Because I think for the most part we're here in San Diego, right? So,
Yeah.
But I don't know if there's ever been a time where you're like, God damn it, we should have, maybe stayed far away. I don't know.
It's not just in camp. It's when they're home too. If their family's with them and cousins are there and brother, they want to keep them up and talking to them, and they take away the recovery phase. You know,
kind of get zapped.
Yeah, they zap them because they don't let them rest. They're always, and then the fighter he feels like he has to tend to his family.
Yeah.
So it's like a double. Like I don't know. I like seclusion.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, not all of them do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I would like seclusion.
I agree because I think there's a lot of like small little demands that maybe if they weren't there, the focus would be better.
Yeah.
In my opinion, little small things that you think are kind of like whatever, like, hey, can you go to the store and get this and that? And it's like you've had two-a-days for the past 3 weeks, and it seems kind of dumb, but it's like just requesting things, trying to like take their energy, and it's not like nobody means any harm by it. It's something completely normal.
Yeah, it just happens. It's normal life.
But yeah. Anyway, that's kind of like a little random thought that I had.
It's almost the same thing like what you talked about, that fighter that was an MMA fighter that said not to take his family to war.
Right.
Camp is the beginning of war. The fight's just the day of the fight.
Right.
So if you don't want them, the battles fought outside of the ring is just the fight is just the final battle.
Yeah.
Because you're in camp and you're sparring. Depends on what you're doing in sparring in camp. Some of the guys that I've been around with that are like super champs, they don't train that hard. They don't spar that hard. They work on certain things. But the guys who are trying to become champions,
they're going hard.
They're going hard.
Yeah, for sure. I thought about a couple of guys in there that came to my mind, remembering.
Yeah.
I think Canelo's one of those guys. It's like he's got so much experience, man. He's just looking for certain things here and there. But I seen footage of him when he was trying to be champ, and he was sparring hard.
Yeah.
There's like some sparring videos out there. You're like, holy fuck, dude. Doesn't look like that no more. But yeah, speaking of Canelo, big news that like dropped this past weekend, and something that we even thought about prior to was Bouts.
Yeah.
Bouts is in camp with Canelo, right? I don't know if he's in camp or he just probably went out there for a little bit and sparred him.
Sources say. Never mind. Go ahead.
My opinion of it is that I don't think it's more so stylistically an advantage. Like, I think Bouts and Terrence have different styles. However, and I forgot to look up their wingspans right now. But for me, I was like, I think it's good for his distance, his timing, and yeah, pretty much, and getting used to that speed. That's why I was like, it might help him in that sense. Style wise though, I don't think that fucking makes too much of a difference. It's more so like the distance, and because they're kind of like similar builds. I thought like the speed, because Bouts is pretty fast himself, but I was like, man, that honestly, it probably couldn't get better sparring, to get ready.
I was thinking about coming back to Brandon Adams when he was sparring Kyle. We're talking about how it was not complicated for him, but it was different to spar a smaller guy.
Yeah.
Since I can remember Canelo, I don't remember when I first started working with him. I want to say
it's been
Kirkland?
over a decade for sure.
I never seen him spar small guys.
Mm-hmm.
So he's so used to being the small guy fighting bigger men.
Right.
Crawford is about his same size, identical, So on some pictures Canelo looks taller, on some Crawford looks taller.
Yeah.
How can Canelo make the adjustment? It's going to be like another but Crawford doesn't have a Miracon speed, but he has an IQ.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going somewhere else now with the fight, but this is enticing, man. Like, this is like who's Crawford sparring to get ready for Canelo?
I don't even think we'll know until after the fact. I don't ever know who he's sparring, to be honest with you. He's probably
sparring in home, and
yeah.
I don't know. Who knows?
There's some fighters that are like that, right? They're like, I think we touched on it with Trevor last week. He's like, dude, he's like, I don't believe in that whole trying to mimic the styles.
Yeah.
Which I think is a great point. For me, I think I don't know how you feel about it. It's like, it's more about timing and rhythm and stuff like that. You know what I mean? From what I know, Terrence is one of those guys that just, same thing with Canelo. He always says, I don't really watch my opponents. I just listen to my coach, and I'm just working on me. being the best fighter I can be, you know? So, yeah, it's going to be... I can't wait for that damn fight. But, yeah. There's the last thing that I have on the list. You know Rampage, the fighter, his son. I don't know too much about the context of the situation, but
she always hits me with big words.
There was a viral moment of this kid. I guess there's a wrestler, some pro wrestler, didn't look super fucking huge to me. Anyway, there's a point to this, right? The kid, he went up there and he started beating, like he was kind of like he was in the stands, and then he goes into the ring and he starts beating the fuck out of this dude. They had an altercation prior to, and I think it was like a misunderstanding type of thing. But he goes up there and he starts beating this dude, and he like pretty much beat him bad to where he was in the hospital.
Oh, I didn't know this.
Yeah, this was recent, like this past weekend. And so now I think he's facing jail time or something. Like I said, I don't know the details too much, but I think about this and I see an opportunity to talk on like emotional intelligence, right? I think that when you allow somebody to anger you that bad, you're allowing them to have power over you, right?
El que se agüita pierde.
Yes. However, he's a young man with what seems like to have a lot of rage. And you were a young man once, obviously, like growing up in your background, fucking the streets. Sometimes I don't know. Obviously, I don't know what it's like to be a man, but I know that there's like a lot going on inside, right? Especially if you come from a background that,
especially having a daddy like that.
Yeah.
You know, having a background in fighting.
Exactly. Well, I think the kid fights him, so he trains at least. I know that for sure.
Can he live up to his daddy's standards?
But I I want to understand, is it hard to control that? Like when you're young and like full of fucking testosterone and shit?
Well, yeah, because most young guys don't know how to fight.
Yeah.
And the ones that know how to fight are kind of taught to not use it outside the ring.
Yeah.
But you know what, man? No knock towards MMA. It's a martial art. But never in my life have I seen so many guys that think they can kick everybody's ass.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I've been in the stands in boxing fights at the highest level, and we've won and we've lost. Mm-hmm. After the fights are over, the fans of the opposing opponent,
yeah,
hey, good fight, bro. Hey, thank you, man. You won. Good fight, bro. Thank you, man. Get you on the next one. Yeah, man, whatever. You know, thank you, man.
Yeah.
And MMA? Fuck you. I'll kick your ass. You and your fucking fighters suck. And I'm looking at this dude. He looked like he never fought in his life, you know?
All skinny
and I'm like, why does everybody think they could fight in MMA?
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's a mindset or the environment. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I can't speak on it. I don't know nothing about Rampage's son. I just know when you get angry at a young age, I don't know how old he is, it's kind of tough to control it if you don't have that little switch.
Yeah.
I used to never want to fight in the street, and because I felt like I couldn't turn it off.
Yeah.
For me, it was a fear. I felt this like weird like rush in my chest where I felt like fear and heat and anger at the same time. And I felt like my fear made me explode and not want to lose a street fight.
Mm-hmm.
So it's scary. Thank God when I was growing up, there wasn't cameras like there is now. It would have been all kinds of videos.
Oh, yeah. Well, that shit's all fucking viral now. Yeah. And you see people in the comments, they're quick to judge. You never know what this kid's going through. Some people, I think it's easier for them to control it. Others not. And then I always go into my mind of like, is it wrong to beat someone's ass because we know better as humans, right? Like because we touched on this before. It's like humans are very complex. However, if you're like in the wild, right? Like if like pretty much any wild kingdom, like lions and tigers, those motherfuckers are fighting to the death, but they're not going to jail. So it's like I always trip on that. You know what I mean? Like
I was always smart. This weekend when I got together with my family,
yeah.
I was talking to my cousin Ida. Love you, Ida. And we're talking about when I was younger. I was like 17. One day, these guys were messing with my little cousins and brothers.
Yeah.
And they were like 10, 11, and my cousin Leonard and them were all little. And they ran to the house and saying the guys were messing with them and they wanted to hit them.
Yeah.
So here I go running over there with my mom.
Yeah.
And my tia Ida Senior. Right?
Ida Senior.
Ida, that's her name too, not like my cousin. And I'm running over there, right?
Yeah.
And as we're running over there, I'm thinking that I get there and I see 5 guys.
Yeah.
But I had like a little reputation for bad shit, not for good stuff. So when I rolled up, the guys were like, "Fuck, hey, bro, like we didn't know the kids were related to you." They are.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Man, bro, I'm so sorry." Like they didn't do anything to them. They're just fucking with them. They're just messing with them. And my tia like goes, "Fuck them up, mijo." And I look at my tia, and I look at them. Then I look at my mom. My mom's like, "Take off on these fools." And I'm like, I knew that I had already won.
Yeah.
Because they were already nervous and petrified.
Yeah.
But if I hit one and I hit the other one, they're gonna respond. I already had them beat cowardly. Like I already checkmate them.
Yeah.
I might wake something up and bring that fear out of them and make them fuck me up in front of my mom and my aunt.
Yeah.
These are 2 women. They were not gonna be able to defend me.
Nah, yeah, not with 5 other dudes.
But my mindset, I knew that I already won up on them.
Yeah.
The next day, I went over there when there was just one guy.
Yeah.
I didn't fight him.
Yeah.
I just went to go double check that everything was cool because I had to calm my mom and tia down. But that was how I thought back then. I already won.
Yeah.
No, but I just want to make sure I won again.
Yeah.
And the dude was like, "Hey, bro, I'm so sorry I made your mom and your aunt mad." And it's like, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
They were petrified. But I knew that you said about the sparring earlier. How did I know? I don't know. It's just in my head. I'm like, why would I fight these 5 guys?
Yeah.
It's just me by myself. They already submitted themselves. They were submissive. That's another thing when you talk about these young guys now, they don't know how to turn it off. When they win, they don't know how they already won. They keep talking shit and they make the coward become brave.
Yeah.
And then they can probably stop that fight because you can't beat 5 guys up. You can fuck if you're who you are.
Yeah.
You know, so sometimes you got to know when to turn it off when you already won.
Yeah.
And these young men nowadays, they think that they got to keep going out there pumping their chest and I'll F you up and this and that.
Right.
And sometimes you already won the fight.
It's funny because it's crazy that you mentioned that because I guess they had already squashed it and the kid went back in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't know how to turn it off.
It's crazy that you mentioned that because I totally forgot to
I didn't even know
put that
about
out
it.
there.
Yeah, I don't know about it. Yeah, so it's just like sometimes when you win, you just leave it alone.
Yeah.
But they don't want to just win a fight. They want to like smash this motherfuckers,
Yeah.
you know? Like, no. I'd rather just let them know that I got one up on them.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's I think it's instinct and awareness. There's different kind of intelligence. It's not just being book smart, which is just regular like IQ intelligence. Then you have your emotional intelligence, was understanding emotions and not allow them to control you. But then you have social intelligence, is what I would put that into that category.
Yeah.
Is understanding your surroundings, your environment, and how like decisions are gonna, what kind of consequences your decisions are gonna have.
They're gonna have.
You know what I'm saying? For not only yourself but everybody else around.
Yep.
Which is a very unique kind of awareness that I think, I don't know, I think being in the streets kind of allows you to have that. Not only that, but just the kind of environment that you're brought up in. It's not just because it was negative doesn't mean that it's going to always have negative repercussions.
But you hear those women, the women I grew up with, how tough they were.
Right.
And it was like, that's who I was brought up around. That's the women.
Right.
The men are a little worse.
Yeah.
So when the men they taught me to be bold.
Right.
But the women taught me to be, I don't know, crazy.
Right.
Ready to fucking get down with anybody. So that's
fearless.
why, fearless. That's why I was bold and fearless because I knew that I had to be that way.
Right.
But I got old quick.
Yeah.
I got in one too many fights. I wasn't like, one fight and I was a superhero. No, I got in like on a weekly basis of fight.
Yeah. That's why I wanted to bring that up to you because, you know, you've been in situations like that.
As I'm looking at my knuckles, I see all the old
scars?
teeth. Yeah, all teeth. And
yeah.
It's like, yeah.
I'm just trying to understand it because like I said, I'm not the mentality of a man is different. You guys go about life very different from a woman, right? Like it's crazy how a lot of people are quick to think that it's easier for a man, but I don't think so. I think it's difficult in a sense, in a different sense, you know. Being a woman has its shit that it comes with, and also being a man has its shit that it comes with. You know, you always have to be. I feel like men are always alert. You guys are always like fucking like checking scenarios.
Depending on the men, you know, the men that are up for it, there's some men. But women, I feel I always thought women were more alert because it depends on the environment, you know, because women are like lionesses.
Absolutely. I think it also depends. But I do have a quote, and it's kind of related.
Give it to me.
Let's see what you think of it. I told you I was watching a show called Chief of War. It's on like Apple or something. And anyway, I grew to like this show, and in the show they mentioned this, and I thought it was cool. It says, "A man of indecision is a danger to himself and those who follow him." And I think an indecisive.
Are you throwing stones at me? Tom, please.
I think like if you're gonna make a decision, stick by it. You know what that reminds me? It reminds me of the story that you say about when you were in construction, and the dude was like, "If you fuck up, yeah."
Steve Davidson, he said, "Make a decision. If you fuck up, we'll roll together with it. Don't worry about it. Like, just make a decision and fuck it. If you're wrong, you're wrong."
Yeah.
Because he wanted me. I guess I was always like, "Oh, well, I don't know. Like, I'm unsure." And he used to be like, "Stop being fucking unsure of yourself. If we fuck it up, we'll fix it. Let's go." And I was like, "All right." And I was never afraid to fuck up with him.
Yeah. And
Steve Davidson, I wonder where that fool's at. He used to work at Rossi Concrete. Have you guys? Yeah, we worked together at Penick and Sons.
And look at what a moment that may seem small has kind of.
He probably just said it.
Yeah,
he said it just a normal day for him, and it recorded right here.
Yep. And I think in the sense of if we want to tie it back to boxing, I think the last thing you want to be is indecisive when you're in the ring.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we stress to the fighters. Yeah. Me and you, both of us, and like one thing that, speaking of Steve Davidson, like that's one of the things I would love to do. I would love to leave an imprint in one of my fighters or young men or young ladies' lives where they remember something that I said that helps them for the rest of their life.
Right.
I feel like that's purpose.
Absolutely. And I think that it has happened and it will continue to happen because there's a lot of fighters that come back to visit you and they always say like, "Coach," they tell like little stories, little anecdotes that they have, and you could tell right away that,
I know now that some of my fighters are coaching, they're like, "Damn, coach," like they laugh like Kyle. He'll just laugh at the things I say or do. He says he can't run classes like I can, but it's years, years of doing this. I love that one. That's a good one.
That's a good one, right? Yeah. I liked it. When I heard it, I was like, man, I think it strikes deep if you understand what decision making means to a man and leaders, not just men. I think leaders and the consequences that they carry.
What is that called? A saying, or what is it? A quote?
It's like a quote, I guess. I don't know.
Is it the same thing in Spanish, un dicho?
Yeah.
I remember my father-in-law used to say all the time, "Unos corretean la libre toda la vida, y a uno les caen la mano sin corretearla."
Mm-hmm.
And that reminds me a lot of boxing coaches.
Yeah.
The real good ones, they never get noticed.
Yeah.
And some of the cheap ones, they just get lucky.
Yeah.
There's a lot of coaches. For every coach you see out there that is famous, there's 3 or 4 that are better than that just never get the opportunity. Maybe they're just like me. They're stubborn. They don't want to kiss ass, and they don't move forward. But there's a lot of great coaches out there. Great coaches. There's a lot of them. And I see them sometimes.
Agree. Absolutely. Sometimes it's like where you're at, timing, all that shit. Stars aligning,
On that note, what's up? That's it?
That's it. There's no fights this coming. There is, but
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, comment, subscribe, hit us up. Any comments, anything else want us to talk about?
Suggestions, whatever.
Sugestiones.
Yeah.
Peace.
Yeah, I think the words, but sometimes they don't come out of my mouth no good.